Thanks for joining us in Floral Park for today's presentation of Varsity Media Lacrosse. Gavin Shaw, Meg McCormick here with you again at Floral Park. It's the Floral Park Knights, you guessed it, against the Locust Valley Falcons. And we're going to start off looking at what happened in last year's game between these two teams. It came down to the final shot. It was one of the better Floral Park teams in the last decade. They went all the way to the semifinals. You see it right there at the buzzer. A big-time win for Floral Park on a dive. And it was 12-11 was the final score, and this is going to provide a little bit of extra motivation for this Locust Valley team today, Meg, that comes into this one rolling, having won 7 of their last 9 games and locking up the 3 seed in Class C.
Yeah, I think they're ready for the playoffs. They're ready to get started. I think last year's definitely going to give them some motivation and momentum going into this game today. They're probably going to fight hard, not take any team lightly after last year's loss and down to the minute.
And we mentioned again, Locust Valley, a team that lost their first 4 games of the year. They have been completely different since then. Floral Park, it's been a season of highs and lows, but they're playing some of their better lacrosse right now, coming off a game where they gave Lynbrook all they could handle. And we look at the star players on both these teams for Floral Park. You could argue the best player in school history in Mitchell Kozak, currently leading the program, a senior in his 6th year with the program. Just a week and a half ago became the program's all-time leading scorer. What are you looking for out of him and the rest of this Floral Park offense?
Yeah, I think he's going to definitely step up and put these other guys on his back today. I think he's going to move the ball, run the offense, call the sets offensively, and really take control.
And you get an opportunity here to see the rest of this Floral Park starting lineup. His younger brother, Jason, starting an attack, just a freshman, already really skilled for his age, taking in Mitchell's footsteps. Mitchell had 60 points as a freshman. And then you look through the rest of that lineup. Dan Padalano, he's been playing some of his best lacrosse of late. Ronan Sanchez. And then you start going through the rest of the midfield. You have a whole lot of talent there. Ryan Turk defensively, in addition to Shane Elia. And we take a look now at the Locust Valley side of things, and they're just loaded throughout that starting lineup, Meg. Just so many different options, 5 different guys with at least 20 points. Mike Casio, Luke Delasici, Frank Smith, who's coming off a 74-point season. Cooper Tripetta leads the midfield. He's their leading goal scorer this season, in addition to Carlo Paz and a dynamic defense. So we're about to get underway here from Floral Park. Again, it's Locust Valley taking on the Knights. Gavin Shaw, Meg McCormick here with you on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And we don't have to wait much longer. Game was delayed about an hour because the Locust Valley team had 6 different players taking AP exams, weren't allowed to leave until the exam was over. So they got the extra hour, and they come out with a lot of fire. A big face-off win to start things off for Ben Ferrara.
Yeah, and I know Ben Ferrara, coach said that has been doing a great job. It's been very consistent this season and has came up with a lot of face-offs.
And that's such a key matchup in this game as Ferrara takes on a guy we probably should have mentioned in the pregame, Christian Lacosto, who's one of the better face-off men on Long Island. And he's part of the reason Floral Park has been able to stay in almost every game this season, winning over 60% of his face-offs. They call him Mr. Consistent. And possession, Meg, we talked about it last broadcast, probably the biggest part of this game. Christian's such a key for them in that category.
Absolutely, and Floral Park coach said he always is watching game film. He's always trying to get better and watching what the other guys do on the face-off, so that comes up big when you need to win possession.
And this Locust Valley offense has really been rolling over the last couple of weeks, quickly turning into one of the better attacks on Long Island. We were talking about it pregame a little bit. Probably one of the better transition groups we've seen all season. They're really dynamic when they get things going.
Yeah, that's great. And it looks like they're really moving right now. They're moving the ball. They're being very patient offensively, patient on the defensive end as well. So this is a good open set.
And you see this Floral Park team, that was sort of the strategy that was preached to us from head coach Ryan Oblage, saying they're going to be very conservative in this one. As you see, that one head far beyond net, and Floral Park win the opening battle between this defense and offense and regain possession. So the conservative approach works that time for the Knights, playing on their home field. Floral Park, seeding implications on the line for them as well, trying to earn the 6th seed as we head into the postseason on Long Island Lacrosse next weekend. And that's a big deal, Meg, as you know, coaching on the girls' side at North Shore. This is one of the it really is essential to get that home field advantage in the opening round.
Absolutely. Home field advantage says a lot. You get your warm-up, you get your own field, you don't have to get on a bus and travel, so home field advantage is big, and I know Floral Park is probably fighting for that at this point in the season, and being able to clinch that today would be big for them.
You see Floral Park, I think, a pretty similar strategy to what they have going on defensively, with a lot of patience with that pass. Probably a little bit too aggressive, and it results in a transition opportunity against an unsettled defense, exactly what they were trying to prevent for Locust Valley. Flag flies, shot on net, finds the back of it. Opening goal scored by Frank Smith, his 30th on the year. We'll see what that flag is, though, to make sure it counts. And it looks like it's going to go against Floral Park, so Locust Valley will have a 1-0 advantage and a man up.
Yeah, that was a beautiful fast break transition goal where Locust Valley really attacked the openings, flew down the field, found the man up. Floral Park's defense looked like they slid upfield, and they were able to capitalize and fake and finish there.
And Frank Smith, that's good for him. Again, a little bit of a down season for him, which sounds absurd to say when someone has 39 points and 30 goals, but you look at it compared to what he did last season. The 4-year starter had 74 points on 47 goals, so a little bit of a step back in terms of role for Frank Smith, but he's playing some of his best lacrosse right now and certainly has this Locust Valley group excited about the postseason. So another battle in the circle. Again, coming up with it is Locust Valley. A little bit of a better showing for Lacosto there, but no teammate around him to help pick it up. And on the sprint is Cooper Trapetta circling back, and they'll start the possession.
Yeah, and it looks like Floral Park's playing a man-to-man matchup defense, but right now they're man down still, so we'll see if Locust Valley can attack the 2v1 and capitalize man up.
Yeah, and that makes that goal even bigger for Smith. He was able to fight through the illegal defense, a little bit too aggressive from Floral Park, and it's almost like 2 goals in 1 with the EMO now, though Floral Park gets a stop there, and we'll get a chance to see them operate with a man down.
Yeah, that was a big turnover for Locust Valley. Floral Park gets the ball back now, and hopefully maybe they could run out the penalty and not play man-down defense, but we'll see what they do coming up to the offensive end.
Yeah, how about that ride from Locust Valley? Really, really aggressive going after that ball, trying to slow down Steven Somo, who was able to hold on to it.
Floral Park looks like they're pulling it out wide as well, trying to be patient offensively. Locust Valley seems to be pushing out a little bit harder, being a little more aggressive on the defensive end.
And for Floral Park, what do you see as sort of the hole in this Locust Valley defense that's been playing so well and is obviously led by Colton Teitelbaum, one of the better goalies on the island, 102 saves on the season. Expected to start for Loyola next season. They've been a hard group to crack.
Yeah, they look like they're playing well defensively. They look like they're connecting all over on the defensive end, which is huge for any type of team defense. Being able to communicate and send those slides is big. So I think Floral Park's going to have to keep moving the ball and keep cutting with purpose and changing speed and direction to get a step or two on their defender.
And an excellent start for Teitelbaum there, whose dad came in before our broadcast, was talking to him a little bit. Very nice to catch up with some of the parents watching our games. We really do appreciate you guys checking it out. And his son Colton got a big save on the initial shot by Mike Kelly, a bouncer that Teitelbaum was able to send high up, and Floral Park able to maintain possession on it. For Floral Park again offensively, Kelly, one of the leaders, 47 points, 41 goals on the season, as Teitelbaum intercepts a pass intended for him there. And on the run the other way with it is Locust Valley, and specifically Luke Del Lisici.
Yeah, that was good ball movement, a good skip pass. They got a good shot off. They just didn't capitalize and finish right there.
Again, Locust Valley typically more comfortable attacking in unsettled defense, but you get to see them work a little bit on offense here. Just a lot of talent. They play a lot of different midfields, really try and wear you down. A bullet of a shot that time, a little bit off target from Cooper Trapetta. So it'll stay with the Falcons. We got to see them right at the start of this streak about 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago against Lynbrook. They've just been rolling since then, and that continues. Frank Smith, a bullet to the back of the net, his second goal, and a 2-0 lead for Locust Valley.
Yeah, that was great patience offensively. They got the ball behind. Let's take a look at the replay right here. Beats his defender, gets an open look, passes up top, gets a wide open lane to finish.
And how about the speed he got on that ball? I mean, even when you look across Long Island lacrosse, we talk about the baseline for talent on all these teams is so high, but a shot like that, Meg, I have to figure is exceptional even on this level.
Yeah, that was a beautiful bounce shot. Looked like it went right below the goalie's feet, right into the back of the net.
So we'll continue this face-off battle. Ferrara against Lacosto. That promises to determine the result of this game to some degree. It was interesting. Maybe a little bit of gamesmanship. Jim Casper, when we got to talk to him pregame, kept mentioning how Ferrara, or he had mentioned at least once, how Ferrara couldn't really handle Lacosto last year, and Lacosto really impressed him, and maybe lighting a little bit of a fire under Ben Ferrara, who in his own right has been one of the better face-off men on the island this year. He's up 3-0 right now on Lacosto, and I think if you want to look at one factor to why Locust Valley is controlling this one early, that's probably it.
Yeah, absolutely. Face-off in boys lacrosse, drawn girls lacrosse is huge. Being able to possess the ball and come up with it, turn it into something offensively.
Madsen connecting that time with Luke Delasici, and it's a 3-goal lead now for Locust Valley. We were wondering about their ability to execute against the settled defense. I think that argument has been settled to some degree early in this one. 2 even-man goals for Locust Valley, and they're in total control here in Floral Park.
Absolutely, and that was a great backdoor right on the crease. He caught his defender ball watching, and he took two or three steps, went to the ball, caught it, kept it simple, and just faked and finished right on the crease.
And those passes in short areas, as a coach, how do you work on that with your players, or is that just sort of pure improvisation in the moment?
I think it's both, and it's work and catching inside under pressure, and also some game sense there. When you are able to cut in backdoor, you want to attack that lane, so being able to read that and catch a defender ball watching is big.
Ferrara so shifty off that face-off, and now he's 4-0 in that matchup to watch against Christian Lacosto. And you just get the feeling Locust Valley, they can tack on another goal in about a second, firing in all cylinders right now. Won 7 of their last 9 games. Had a 4-game winning streak before losing to Wantagh last time out. Fell 13-8, a game Jim Casper thought was probably closer than that final score. Another rip deflected, and it'll stay with the Hawks.
Yeah, Floral Park's doing a nice job right now, pressuring out, coming up with turnovers. They're getting the ball on the ground. Now they just got to capitalize and come up with the 50-50.
I feel like their defense has been solid, but they've just been on the field the whole game so far, and such a challenge against the attack as dynamic as this Hawks group to just be out there for minute after minute after minute. Eventually you break, and that continues to happen. A bouncer from Mike Casio. Everyone getting in on the scoring party for Locust Valley. A big 4-0 lead to open this one.
Yeah, wow, that was a beautiful shot. We'll check out the instant replay right here, but it looked like it got right under the top pipe. He got his hands free for 1 second on the rollback and was able to fake and finish.
And the Falcons continue to hit tough shot after tough shot. You feel like I feel like Floral Park hasn't really had any major breakdowns defensively. Maybe a couple where they've overhelped a little bit. It's just been spectacular shot making from this Locust Valley group.
Absolutely, and I think they're making smart decisions in the offensive end where they're not forcing things. They're making sure that they're patient enough, moving the ball, breaking down the Floral Park defense before they take a shot off.
This one has the makings of a rout early, but Floral Park finally winning that face-off. Christian Lacosto much needed and a chance to at least get a bit of momentum heading into the end of this first quarter here for the Knights.
Absolutely. I think that faceoff was big for Floral Park. Now they just have to turn it into something offensively.
It is a hot one here at Floral Park, Queens. We are baking in this press box, but could not be happier to be here to bring you this presentation of Varsity Media Lacrosse. It's been an excellent season. This our final regular season matchup that we have on the network, but stay tuned. Should have a playoff game for you next week, if not two. And again, seeding implications on the line for both these teams. Floral Park trying to lock up a Hogan. Locust Valley, they're already locked into the 3 seed, but clearly playing with revenge on their minds. So many key components back from last year's team that fell on that buzzer beater to the same Floral Park group.
Absolutely, and I know both teams have returning players, so they definitely are thinking about that game probably from postseason last year and trying to come back with that win today.
How about this defense against Mike Kelly? They've absolutely hounded him whenever he's touched the ball. The 41 goal scorer for Floral Park hasn't gotten off a clean shot yet.
Yeah, defensively right now, Locust Valley is really sending their double quick. They're sending their slides quick, and there are not many holes and openings right now in the Locust Valley defense.
And again, the harassment results in another turnover. Ground ball picked up that time by Anthony Madsen, and you see the green rush coming on again. This time it's Frank Smith looking for a first quarter hat trick. Throws to Tripetta, who's doubled. Tripetta absolutely harassed, somehow able to get out of it. And
yeah, that was great stick work, great control, great ball handle by number 6 on the Falcons.
Cooper Tripetta, a Hofstra commit. Not the tallest player in the world, but very creative. Now here's Madsen. He's had himself a nice goal-scoring season. Finds an angle and saved beautifully that time by Aiden Fogarty. And Aiden is an interesting story, Meg. He's actually the third-string goalie for Floral Park, and if you're wondering why he's struggling a little bit, that's it. He's played midfield his entire career. He's had about 6 games of high school goaltending experience under his belt as a senior. All of them have come this season. They weren't even sure if he could play goalie, but they had a freshman, Cameron Powell, who went out with a broken finger. Backup, I believe, got suspended or quit the team. And then Aiden came on. And he was just sort of the emergency look. And the only reason Ryan Oblong had an idea that he could play goalie is that when Aiden was in middle school, Ryan just happened to be at one of his games, not even necessarily there to watch him. And their starting goalie didn't show up. They had Aiden come in. Ryan offered to warm him up, and he thought to himself, you know what, this kid could play a little bit. And it's been a 4-year challenge to get him to try goalie. Finally did it, and it's on the biggest stage imaginable. And all in all, he's been pretty good, saving nearly half his shots on the year, but just a very tough situation against a team like Locust Valley.
That's amazing, and that was a great save by that goalie. He got his hands behind the ball. He took a quick step, and it was a great off-stick save. So he's definitely athletic. He definitely sees the ball, and goalies have a type of mentality that they're tough, and they step up for their team when they need to, and it seems like Floral Park has done that.
Yeah, and for Fogarty, again, it wasn't really a desire. He resisted Oblong for 4 years, but finally gave in when they literally did not have anyone else. Gets another nice save there off what would have been a frozen rope of a shot from Carlo Paz. Now a transition opportunity getting checked in the back was Ronan Sanchez. Officials say send it back. It'll be Floral Park ball as the first quarter winds down here. Still a 4-goal Locust Valley lead.
And we'll see if Floral Park can capitalize right now with 30 seconds left in the first quarter.
You just get the feeling if they're going to be in this game, they need something here, but the bouncer finds the back of the stick for Cooper Tripetta.
Now Floral Park's going to really have to step up and try to get a Locust Valley stop here.
And Locust Valley loves to get these last-second shots, these improvised moments right in front of net. Smith stopped by Fogarty. 3, 2, 1. Doesn't look like he's going to get a shot off. He doesn't, and that's how the first quarter ends, but still a lot of momentum for Locust Valley. The Falcons lead it by 4 after 1 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now is the time to sign up with Varsity Media for this year's lacrosse season. We offer competitive filming rates for full season coverage of your team. Varsity Media also offers action photography during the lacrosse season as well. To learn more about our services, visit varsitymedia.net or give us a call today.
Second quarter action about to get underway here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Again, it's Gavin Shaw, North Shore head coach Meg McCormick here with you. Meg, we had your game last week, one of the games of the season. I know you probably don't want me to bring it up. It was a little bit of a heartbreaking loss, but I just wanted to say we had so much fun doing your game last week, and it's cool to get the perspective of you as a coach and now you as a broadcaster with us. So we appreciate you being here, if nothing else.
Thanks so much, Gavin. It's always a pleasure having you guys. And you always do a great job, and we appreciate all you guys are doing for Long Island lacrosse.
It's very generous. It's a good job. 4-goal lead for Locust Valley after a quarter. They came out totally dominant offensively. What changes do you expect from this Floral Park side? Obviously, just running into somewhat of a buzzsaw in this Falcons team.
Yeah, I think what they're going to have to do is definitely slow down their fast break, make sure that they're stopping ball and not sliding up field. And I think they really have to communicate and get on the same page and come up with those 50-50s that are down in the 8-meter. That should be a turnover, turning into the Floral Parks team. So hopefully they can step up and capitalize and try to stop for Locust Valley's momentum. And hopefully they can capitalize on the offensive end.
And it's the Locust Valley at green, Floral Park in the home whites, red shorts. The issue and the concern for Floral Park is that area. They've been struggling on the faceoff. Ben Ferrara beating Christian Lacosto in a matchup of two of the better face-off guys on the island. And Floral Park, you just got the feeling that, talking to Ryan Oblog pregame, that he was really, really counting on Lacosto to dominate that matchup for them to have a shot, because clearly Locust Valley just a little bit more depth, a little bit more talent offensively, and instead it's been the total opposite. And at least in my mind, that's been kind of the key to this dominant start for Locust Valley.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like they don't have one or two key players. Everybody looks like they're stepping up offensively, and that really carries a lot when you have a team.
Yeah, Floral Park, you got to figure at some point they're going to have to turn things around in the face-off circle to have any kind of chance in this one. If not, Locust Valley probably going to run away with it. Up by 4, revenge on the minds for the Falcons. So flag flies after the interception by James Giannakos.
Yeah, that was a good slide defensively. He stopped ball, he caused a bad pass, and they were able to come up with that interception. Unfortunately, I think it looks like Floral Park got a slash, so now it goes back to Locust Valley possession.
So second infraction on the day against the Knights. First time they were able to stop a goal in a EMO situation, but hard to keep giving this Locust Valley team opportunities.
Locust Valley seems to be being patient right now and man up, taking advantage of getting that ball back on that play.
This Locust Valley team probably has the most experienced coaching staff on Long Island, as that one is saved by Fogarty right in front of net. He stonewalled Matson, and then the follow-up wide of net off the stick of Tripetta. We're just getting into it, but this coaching group for Locust Valley has really been around the block. Jim Casper only in his second year, but it's his 52nd year, more than half a century of coaching overall, and he still loves it, saying he could do this another 20 years if he's so lucky to have the opportunity. And his assistants have also been around quite a long time, to the point that they've coached most of the Floral Park staff, which I thought was pretty funny and a pretty good connection between these two programs. As that one is deflected, and finally Floral Park winning possession back as Fogarty comes up with that one. The offense's Falcons team one is another classic name on Long Island lacrosse. Bob Marcusio, according to Jim Casper, who used to coach at Northport, and it was a man described by Casper as the offensive guru of lacrosse's Floral Park. Finally gets one to go.
Yeah, and Gavin, that was a beautiful transition. They were able to get past Locust Valley's ride there defensively, clear the ball up to the offensive end, and they were able to find those holes and finish.
Yeah, rapid fire pass ahead. I missed it. I was looking down at our notes, and look at that quick tic-tac-toe. That was finally put away by Dan Padalano, his first goal of the game, and Floral Park is on the board. So maybe that gives the Knights a little bit of momentum, and step number one in them getting back into this one.
Absolutely, and catching Locust Valley there off their toes on defense and being able to capitalize and fast break was big for Floral Park right there.
Giving the Falcons a little taste of their own medicine was Padalano, a junior attack man. That was his 23rd point, 17th goal on the season. He's been a little bit up and down, and after the Mineola game when he really wasn't playing well, Ryan Oblog pulled him aside and said, we really need you to step up, and game after that against Lynbrook, ripped off 3 goals, has one today. So certainly taking that message to heart is Dan Padalano.
Yeah, and Floral Park just came up with that face-off. They were diligent on the start of it, and Locust Valley seemed to have moved, so they got possession.
And Tripetta that time, another brilliant save, stopping Padalano from picking up his second. So a good run of play for Floral Park, but we'll see if Locust Valley can respond in turn. Racing into open field is Ferrara. Staying on for offense this time as the face-off man usually comes off after he wins or loses.
Locust Valley looks to be moving the ball around, maybe catching their breath a little bit, taking some time off, being up by 3.
Trying to dodge into center was Anthony that time. Jump shot blocked by Fogarty. It's a good attempt by Delasici, who had a goal in his own right in the first half. And Floral Park again continuing a good run of play, but now Locust Valley has it back. Backdoor look. No, it was a fake. Smith in a lot of trouble. 3 white jerseys surrounding Tripetta that time. And Floral Park comes up with it in the ground ball situation.
That was a great defensive stop right there. They really collapsed on him inside there and were able to come up with the turnover.
Some rapid fire action and a timeout taken by Locust Valley. We'll take a break with it on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey sports fans, why settle for watching games after they've been played? Varsity Media brings the action to you live. Contact us today to learn more about streaming your events live. 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. We highlight your life.
So an early goal to open the second quarter in transition for Floral Park. They won the ball back. Locust Valley, a nice ride. And we're about to get back to action with Floral Park in possession and a chance to build a little bit of momentum. Could cut this lead to 2, Meg.
Yeah, this is a big possession for Floral Park right here. See what they come up with. Locust Valley really pressuring out. They're working well. They're getting back in to help the slide collapse in the middle. So we'll see if Floral Park can find an opening.
And there it is, a rip and a goal that time for Floral Park, putting that one in. A brilliant shot that time. Looked to be Harry Power.
That was a great ball movement, great skip pass, and he really finished hard on that right side.
And that's such a tough look. Didn't really seem like he had a great angle there, but just able to find a way to put it in. was Harry Power doing a magic trick, and it's a 2-goal game. Floral Park right back in it. What a great name, Harry Power. It's awesome. Face off. This time Locust Valley the winner. Ferrara able to just knock it with his stick.
Yeah, and I think, Gavin, Floral Park has been coming up with more of these face-offs in the second quarter, so they have been able to capitalize and turn it into something on the offensive end. So we'll see if that momentum keeps carrying with them.
Power really a bit player for Floral Park this season. Not a guy who shows up on a lot of scouting reports, but maybe that'll change after a shot like that. So Tripetta jogging around, trying to draw help. Jump shot, wide, and Fogarty again, a good stick on it. It just looks very natural in goal for someone who really hasn't played it at all in his career.
Yeah, absolutely. His positioning looks good. Even his clearing is great. He's coming up with big stops this quarter, so I think he's definitely helping that momentum for Floral Park.
It's really incredible. As we talk about it time and time again, is that one a little bit too ambitious off the stick of Frank Smith. Fortunately for Locust Valley, they had a man wide, so they'll maintain possession. But when you talk about, and you know this better than I ever could, Meg, but when you talk about Long Island lacrosse, even the teams that don't have great records, you're still talking about some of the better groups of talent in the country. There are no off nights, and for a kid who's never played goalie before to come in and even be passable, I just think is incredible and a sign of the type of athlete that Aiden Fogarty is.
Absolutely, Gavin, and I think especially on Long Island, these kids are playing lacrosse all the time, year-round, every season, 7 days a week. They don't put their sticks down, and they love the game. So the fact that he's been able to carry his own and step into a big role position like goalie is huge.
It's incredible. Really has no right to be doing as well as he is. As Tripetta throws that one away. So Floral Park again, a chance to get it back within 1 goal. It was a brilliant transition opportunity that ended with a little put-in from Dan Padalano, and then just a individual rip from Harry Power that got the Knights back into this one, down 4-0 after a quarter, though a turnover there will make that comeback effort a little bit more difficult. So here comes Carlo Paz. He's been quiet so far. Paz considered to be possibly the best athlete in the school for Locust Valley as we get another timeout here. And we'll take a break with it on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Floral Park back in this one, down by just 2.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media Streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us at 516-403-2050 for rates and packages.
So we're back on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Locust Valley getting the turnover on the ride. And they'll have an opportunity to extend this 2-goal lead, though. Meg, what are you seeing different from this Floral Park defense in this second quarter? Obviously, they really struggled in the first, giving up 4 goals. Have been very solid so far through the first couple minutes of the second.
Yeah, I think they're holding Locust Valley to bad angles for their shots right now, or tough angles for taking their shots, and they're really collapsing inside, so they're not getting those inside looks. I think on their clear, they just have to tidy things up with their passing, going to the ball, and they'll be able to transition to the offensive end.
And in some ways, that is a continuation of the first quarter we were noting. It wasn't necessarily bad defense by Floral Park, more so just brilliant individual offense from Locust Valley. But if anything, Floral Park's gotten even better on that end, and Locust Valley maybe a little bit less sharp, and the combination just enough to help the Knights get back into this one as they take control here.
Absolutely, and it's hard to play full games, so there are ups and downs, and teams do go on runs. That's what high school sports is about.
The two names to watch out for in Floral Park, we mentioned them a couple of times. Number 7 in white, Mike Kelly, 41 goals on the season. And then Mitchell Kozak, who, again, is the all-time leading goal scorer in Floral Park history. Dive in front of net. Tripetta doing everything he can to deflect that one, and just not much of an angle that time for Jason Kozak, the freshman. So it looks like it'll go back to Locust Valley, but now the officials are conferring, and they'll say Floral Park has possession.
Yeah, that was a big call for Floral Park that they got that ball back offensively with 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in the second quarter.
Had a lot of circling, falling, finding grass, and looked like Frank Smith coming out of the pack with the ball. Floral Park, they've done a nice job in terms of transition defense. They never really seem to be, outside of that opening goal, haven't really been caught out of place by this Locust Valley group that loves to score in those situations. So spinning and probing is Tripetta.
Floral Park looks to seem like they jumped to his own defense now, where they're guarding space and collapsing inside, looking to jump a double on the Locust Valley offense. So I think it's making it a little more difficult for them.
And it was effective there. Turnaround shot off the mark that time. So it's a ground ball in front of net. Flipped in. No look. Did that go down? Oh my God, what a shot that time by Mike Casio, who certainly couldn't see the net, just picked it up, put it over the back of his shoulder. I didn't even think that went in initially. Let's take a look at that replay, Meg. So we got a ground ball situation. What do you see next?
Yeah, it looks like Floral Park was fumbling it a little bit, and it looked like they got unlucky. Locust Valley picked it up and just threw it right over his right shoulder.
It's so casual from Casio, and it gives you an idea of just how skilled these guys are, because that's probably something he's practiced a couple of times. He didn't just pull that out of his back pocket. Mike Casio picks it up and just without a shred of doubt put it over his shoulder.
Absolutely. The more you have the ball on your stick and the more stick tricks you're able to do and the more comfortable you are with the ball on your stick, the better you're going to be, especially offensively, and getting those shots like that off.
I got to be honest, the officials blew the whistle. I was shocked. I couldn't have imagined a way that ball went in, but it somehow did. And now Floral Park, another hill to climb, down by 3 again, 5-2 is our score with just over 3 minutes until halftime. So looking for room here is Mitchell Kozak, who's largely been quiet. A good find in front of net, and Floral Park, a quick response that time to get back into it. Looked like Harry Power again, his second goal.
Yeah, that was a great cut. He found the opening. If you take a look on the instant replay right here, the ball's behind. All the Locust Valley defense is looking. We've got that first slide, and he was able to capitalize and step in.
Just to give you an idea, coming into this one, I think we'll confirm it in a second, but I think Harry Power only had about 3 goals on the season. So that's just nuts. 2 goals in one of the bigger games of the year for this Floral Park team as they look to lock up the 6th seed. So the offense starting to pick up on both sides. You see running is Locust Valley. They would have had a lot of room that time if Carlo Paz had been able to hold on to that pass from Frank Smith. Instead, it goes back to the Knights.
Yeah, that was a big turnover there. Floral Park will maintain possession now with 3 minutes left in the quarter. See if they could find another draw and dump like they just did in the play prior.
So just to give you an idea, Harry Power, according to FLG Lacrosse Company, 1 assist, no goals yet this season. Timeout taking this one, just getting interesting. Floral Park calls for the break, down by 2 with under 3 minutes until the half.
Now is the time to sign up with Varsity Media for this year's lacrosse season. We offer competitive filming rates for full season coverage of your team. Varsity Media also offers action photography during the lacrosse season as well. To learn more about our services, visit varsitymedia.net or give us a call today.
Hey sports fans, why settle for watching games after they've been played? Varsity Media brings the action to you live. Contact us today to learn more about streaming your events live. 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. We highlight your life.
Back to action here in Floral Park. Just one of those games. Looked initially like Locust Valley was going to run away with it up 4-0 after one, but this Floral Park team really known for their resilience. And Meg, it's not necessarily as talented as the group that Ryan Oblodge had last year, where they made the semifinals. It was the best finish in his 10 years as head coach that they've ever had, but some of that same core still in place. Particularly, you look at guys like Kozak and Kelly, and they have some of the same spirit of that team. Down by 4, didn't get discouraged, and have fought their way back into this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think right now they're on a run. They're outscoring them 3-1 this quarter, which is big momentum heading in their right direction. So we'll see if they can hold on to that.
What have you seen in terms of a shift offensively for Floral Park? Is it just more patience? Is stuff just kind of flowing better, or what's kind of changed?
I think it's a combination of both. It looks like they're really getting the ball behind, playing at X, and being able to look to draw and dump or backdoor from up top. So they're drawing that first slide. There's Locust Valley's second slide is a second too late, and therefore Floral Park is attacking that lane and able to finish.
When you say playing from the X, what spot is that on the field?
Behind the cage.
Right.
Sorry, Kevin.
No problem. No, it's good to know. And a big time put in that time there. Get a little bit closer. Ronan Sanchez through the 5-hole against Colton Teitelbaum. And Floral Park, 4-1 now. They're winning this quarter, and they're within a goal.
Yeah, and that was a beautiful skip pass. It really looks like they're attacking from behind. He was able to get one step on his defender on the left side. He had him on his right shoulder and got his hands free on the left side and finished.
Obviously, there have been some strategic shifts, and there's been better passing, but Floral Park just making some really tough shots, and that's something you almost, I guess you can't really count for quarter to quarter, but it's made a big difference in this second. So the matchup we've been watching all day, and going a little bit too early that time, was Locust, so the ball is awarded to Locust Valley and Ben Ferrara. A rip deflected high by Fogarty. He continues to stand up well. Looked like he was initially a little bit overwhelmed by this Locust Valley group, but the 6-game goaltender had never played before in his career. Continues to step up.
Yeah, and that was a great save. They came down quick. They had a man up because the Floral Park was subbing in the box.
And there's an answer from Locust Valley. Falling down and still finding a way to get it to go was Anthony Madsen. So that's his 9th goal on the season. And Locust Valley, in what's been a thrilling second quarter, punches right back.
Yeah, that was a great shot and finish. And you'll take a look at the instant replay right here. Found it inside, dove, and made that diving shot. So, beautiful goal.
And Locust Valley, right when you think they're falling out of this game a little bit and they're losing confidence, there's so many different options across the board. Madsen, nominally, probably their 5th best offensive threat. You look at guys like Tripetta, Frank Smith, Buck Andrea, Mike Casio, who had that no-look shot, Luke Delasici, who scored in the first quarter. It's just nuts, the luxury of talent that Jim, I don't know if that's a real phrase, that Jim Casper has on this, embarrassment of riches, that's what I was going for, that Jim Casper has on this Locust Valley team.
Yeah, you could tell that they're so athletic. Their athleticism just shines right now, and they're able to make those passes, make those shots, come up with those ground balls, which is big.
And there's a shot that was deflected by Teitelbaum, came off the stick of Kozak, and now a sprint to net the other way. Trying to go the length of the field was Carlo Paz, and Aiden Fogarty having none of it, saving it almost with derision that time.
Yeah, that was a great save. He stayed big. He kept his position. And Floral Park was able to get that quick clear off to start their transition game to the offensive end.
So Janakos able to get it most of the way up the field before a timeout slowed him down, as Floral Park will take the final 47 seconds to set something up here and hope to get this back within 1 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us at 516-403-2050 for rates and packages.
So final 47 seconds of action in what I would say has been one of the more thrilling quarters we've had on the Varsity Media Sports Network all season. It's a 4-2 advantage for Floral Park, and they have 47 seconds to extend that and get this back to a one-goal game. Again, it's Gavin Shaw and Meg McCormick here with you to take you down the stretch of what's been an excellent first half.
Yeah, and we'll see if Floral Park can really capitalize right now within these next 47 seconds. See if they break down the Locust Valley defense, bring it to 1, heading into the halftime.
Starting off the sprint is Ronan Sanchez, nearly forced off his spot, but he'll keep going. Unimpeded up to this point. Now he moves it along.
Yeah, and it looks like the Floral Park coaches really wanted a call there. Maybe a slash or something to capitalize man up, but unfortunately they didn't get that.
So under 30 seconds now. They've been very methodical in this second quarter. Have to go quick now. Good look. Shot off of it. Wide from Mike Kelly. Brilliant draw and dump there from Ronan Sanchez. Still 18 seconds to operate.
Yeah, that was a good idea. Just a little wide on the shot, but they found that open seam up top, so.
Kozak scoreless. Looking like he'll be scoreless through the half. So 10 more seconds now for Floral Park as the Knights try and get this back within one goal. It's been a miraculous second quarter. Can they end it on a high note? Lob in front of net. Goes high. Who's going to come up with it? Locust Valley does. 3-2. They're going to have to shoot it from midfield. A rip. And it comes too late from Dan Rizzo. So that's how the half will end. Floral Park unable to add the exclamation point, but still an excellent quarter for the Knights to finish things off. 6-4 lead for Locust Valley. As we head into the break on the Varsity Media Sports Network, we'll bring you the thrilling conclusion of this 2019 lacrosse season next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us at 516-403-2050 for rates and packages. Hey sports fans, why settle for watching games after they've been played? Varsity Media brings the action to you live. Contact us today to learn more about streaming your events live. 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. We highlight your life.
Now is the time to sign up with Varsity Media for this year's lacrosse season. We offer competitive filming rates for full season coverage of your team. Varsity Media also offers action photography during the lacrosse season as well. To learn more about our services, visit varsitymedia.net or give us a call today.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us at 516-403-2050 for rates and packages. Hey sports fans, why settle for watching games after they've been played? Varsity Media brings the action to you live. Contact us today to learn more about streaming your events live. 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. We highlight your life.
Now is the time to sign up with Varsity Media for this year's lacrosse season. We offer competitive filming rates for full season coverage of your team. Varsity Media also offers action photography during the lacrosse season as well. To learn more about our services, visit varsitymedia.net or give us a call today.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us at 516-403-2050 for rates and packages.
Second half about to get underway. Regular season rounding up here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. It's the Locust Valley Falcons, a 6-4 lead over Floral Park at halftime. Meg, we weren't quite sure we were going to get this close of a game. Locust Valley looked to be dominant in the early going. They were up by 4. And the second quarter, though, was all Knights.
Yeah, Floral Park came out on fire in that second quarter, and they're definitely giving Locust Valley a run for their money right now.
So in the face-off circle, looks to be Ben Ferrara, again matched up with Christian Lacosto, and how those two have done have sort of defined how this game has gone in the first quarter. I believe Ferrara won every single matchup between the two, and in turn Locust Valley was dominant. Second quarter that flipped a little bit. Lacosto won a couple, was able to hold his own, and Floral Park worked their way back into this game.
Yeah, and Gavin, both guys have been very disciplined on the face-off, and they've been holding their own. A few times they got called for false starting, so I think that's helping both teams.
Both work extremely hard. Ferrara, a great natural athlete. Lacosto, the captain, described as a true leader by his head coach. One of the better face-off guys on the island, works extremely hard at his craft, as all these guys do. It's been a theme, Meg, and I'm sure it's probably similar with draw control on the girls' side, but talking to all these coaches, just the immense effort each individual face-off guy puts into their craft, because they know that their individual play is so crucial to their teams winning game after game after game, and because of that they put such an emphasis on being as sharp as they possibly can.
Absolutely, and I think there's so many ways to scout on the face-off and draw on girls' side, where you look which way their feet are pointed, you look what way their stick is going, if they're pulling it towards themselves, if they're pushing it away, they try to really get underneath the ball, and that can really control and dictate a face-off.
Great sweeping save from Teitelbaum to stop Mike Kelly that time. Kelly trying to get on the board to open this third quarter. And now you see this Locust Valley transition offense that has been so pivotal to them turning around their season. Again, the story with Locust Valley: lost their first 4, won their 7 of their next 9. As that looked like a kick save that time defensively. Ronan Sanchez, I think, just able to stop the shot from Cooper Trepida there. It almost looked like he got a foot on it. I wasn't quite sure.
Yeah, and that was a great save. He was right on top of him at top of the crease there, and he was able to get that big stop.
And great instincts there after the another deflection, possibly off the foot again. Aiden Fogarty sprinting to try and chase that down, and that's sort of where you see the midfielder in him come out in goal. His instinct was, you know what, I got to get to that ball, but didn't have a chance against Frank Smith.
Yeah, Floral Park's playing some great defense right now. I think switching to zone was a good move on the coaching staff, and they're really looking to pinch that double team up top and close openings. So Locust Valley is definitely having a little bit more trouble this second quarter and third quarter trying to finish.
So Trepetta circles, draws about 4 different defenders on that one run with the ball. Lob inside, shot on net. Fogarty again. This time he stalwarted Mike Casio, who had that brilliant goal in half number 1, the no-look over the shoulder in a ground ball situation. And Floral Park will get it right back. So 3 straight stops for the Knights against one of the better offenses on Long Island, and they'll start a run of their own.
Yeah, and that was a great hustle by the goalie on Floral Park. He really went behind the cage to get possession for his team, so that was big coming out.
An absolutely brilliant effort to get the ball up the field, that time by number 24, Steven Somo.
Yeah, Floral Park's defense is really packing it inside, so Locust Valley is having trouble attacking.
And Locust Valley has really tried to get something going on those rides, but the defensive group for Floral Park, a great job staying on the ball, not turning it over. As I say that, they throw the ball away on the offensive end and return it to Locust Valley.
Yeah, we'll see if their attackers can get a big ride here and get a stop and turn over in the backfield.
And sort of the question this whole game for Floral Park, I mean, it just coming into it from Ryan Alblog was, how long can we control the ball? How long can we keep our defense out of situations where they have to be on the field for long stretches? And this time it comes back to bite them. Wide open was Frank Smith. He has a hat trick, and Locust Valley has momentum.
Yeah, and if we take a look at that instant replay right here, Gavin, he does a great job hedging and faking out his defender. Comes down the right-hand lane and finishes.
And it's just hard to gauge. How is he so open there? Was it just the fact that it was in transition, or was it that they had a guy, it looked to be Luke Delasici in that X position drawing the defender over, but it just seemed like no one was on him.
Yeah, and I think in his zone, Gavin, the elbows inside are tight and they're hard to cover, so you want to attack from those sides.
Interesting, and it's so fascinating when you see some of the more experienced players. Obviously, that's something that maybe their coach tells them, like, hey, stand right there. But it seems like intuitively they seem to know that on their own. Has a great check, nearly took it away from Ferrara, but good job by Ferrara sticking with it and able to recover. Nice little toss back, jump in front of net, tic-tac-toe passing, and another one for Locust Valley. Mike Casio has his second, and the Falcons are rolling to start half number 2.
Yeah, they came out on fire this quarter. They're really connecting. If you take a look here, it's one pass to the right side, a little back door inside. Nice little shorty pass and finish.
And just from a fan's perspective, I mean, at least to me, that's what makes lacrosse great. Those little moments where the guys barely even touch the ball before moving it on, and it's just pure instinct, pure chemistry, and the ability to put it home as well. Really just a beautiful play that time. So Ferrara unable to get that one. Lacosto out-hustled him for it. At least had better awareness.
Floral Park recovers that ground ball.
And starting to feel like this is a crucial possession for Floral Park, giving up 2 quick goals to open this second half. And this, I guess, following a little bit of a similar script as the first half, where Locust Valley came out and really dominated play. Again, this game got off to about an hour delay. Was initially supposed to start around 4:45, was pushed back to 5, and then about another 45 to 50 minutes because 6 players on the Locust Valley team were finishing their advanced placement exams and were unable to get on the bus until then. Jim Casper probably made the wise decision to hold up and wait for them, proving that academics really do come first in high school sports, as I think Colton Teitelbaum's dad quipped to us pregame. So extra pass, and another brilliant finish. Locust Valley, they're operating on all cylinders. Luke Delasici, his second, and you're starting to see the depth and the breadth of this Locust Valley attack.
Yeah, if you look at the replay, they're really attacking that right-hand side. That was a quick shot, quick feet, quick dodge.
And I almost thought it was the hockey assist that was the best part of that, the quick one up the field. And Locust Valley continuing a pattern. In the first quarter, they outscored Floral Park 4-0, a 3-0 burst to open this third, and the Knights are the Falcons are in control on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us at 516-403-2050 for rates and packages.
So back to action, Gavin Shaw, Meg McCormick here with you. Meg, it just feels like this Locust Valley team got a complete revamp at the end of the third quarter, looking a little bit sluggish offensively, and that second Floral Park really stepped up, and now they're just flying around and doing whatever they want.
Yeah, they look really quick and really sharp, especially coming out of half right there. They're really working together. You could definitely see the athleticism on this Locust Valley team and the depth that they have on this Locust Valley team.
So ground ball, fought for. You love these extended chases. Just a whole lot of hustle, a whole lot of fight on both sides. Finally ends up out of play. Tough call for the officials, and they give it back to Floral Park. So finally the Knights a chance to punch back after they get hit in the mouth to open this third quarter, giving up 3 straight goals. They got it all the way within 5-4. So really it was a pair of 4-0 runs that have defined this game for Locust Valley, as the Falcons have taken control of this one in the second half. And I think for Floral Park, I mean, you want to look where they're struggling, at least offensively. Mike Kelly and the all-time leading scorer in program history, Mitchell Kozak, have combined for maybe 1 goal. I don't even necessarily remember either of them scoring yet. Kozak in particular has been harassed.
Yeah, and I think when you have a go-to player like Kozak on Floral Park, teams really focus on him defensively, so Locust Valley's doing a nice job shutting him down.
And just look how quickly they have that ball moving. As Kozak tries to spin into space. And it's been the same guy for most of this game, chasing him around. I think Chris Simak has had the task for a good portion of it, and Kozak just has not had much of an answer.
And it looks like a flag went up in that play also, Gavin, so we'll see what they come up with here. It looks like Floral Park might get possession back.
A couple penalties against Floral Park in the first. I don't think Locust Valley had any. So certainly something to watch out for here.
And Floral Park right now is man up, so we'll see if they can capitalize here. Like little 6-on-5.
They really get that ball moving. Trying to stretch this Locust Valley defense, that probably the underrated star of this game positionally. They've been so good for so much. Obviously that short stretch of, I don't want to say ineptitude, but struggled a little bit in that second quarter. And all in all, though, they've been really great. You see it right here. Even down a man, they're still swarming to the ball and able to force a turnover as that one bounced right into the stick of a Falcon defender. Ground ball situation. And another flag flies. So let them keep playing. Fake. And finally the put-in. Great patience that time to beat Colton Teitelbaum from Ronan Sanchez. And finally, Floral Park on the board in the second half.
Yeah, and if we look at that instant replay, they do skip past and backdoor on that crease, which is such a big part of lacrosse. Able to find those openings and attack down low. Beautiful fake. He really baited that goalie right there.
And the patience from Sanchez just outstanding. You sometimes see players hesitate too long, but it felt like Sanchez waited till the exact right moment, finally got Teitelbaum to commit, and then he beat him. So a little life for Floral Park, still down by 4 goals.
They're still man up, though, Gavin, so we'll see if they're able to turn it into something.
That's a great point, Meg. And again, you almost feel like they need that advantage with the way this Locust Valley defense is running around, though. The jump that time for Christian Lacosta won't help matters as Locust Valley has the ball down a man.
Floral Park is sending that double, being that they're man up, trying to get a big turnover.
And Meg, offensively, when you're coaching in these situations, are you just trying to hold on to the ball, or you're trying to maybe sneak in a goal when the defense is least expecting it?
I would definitely be trying to hold the ball. I would want to not play man-down defense, especially in a game like this when we're down by when we're up by 4, I'm sorry. And we want to hold possession because we don't want to play man-down defense.
It takes a lot of ambition to shoot in these situations, though. We've seen a couple of shorthanded goals this season on the Varsity Media Sports Network, and they're always exciting spectacles, but sometimes defense, it's almost like a shark with blood in the water. They get a little too enthusiastic about trying to win the ball back, and it creates an opening where there otherwise wouldn't be. As you see here, great dodge and a put-in shorthanded goal. It happened. Willing it into existence was Anthony Madsen, his second on the day, and Floral Park, they can't be stopped, even down a man in this second half.
Yeah, Locust Valley is just so quick inside. They get 1 or 2 steps on their defender, and they're able to fake and finish.
This Locust Valley team, it's going to be so interesting to see just how competitive they are in Class C, because obviously it was a group that was sort of written off to some degree or another when they opened the season 0-4, and it was just one of those situations where you were saying, like, look, I mean, they have a lot of talent, but they're just not. This isn't their year. They're not going to be able to compete. Still a pretty young group under Jim Casper. And now they've been so good in conference play, winning 6 of 8. And they're right in that conversation with Cold Spring Harbor and Wantagh for the favorite in Class C1. And I know just talking to Jim Casper this week, he even pointed out, like, the fact that Cold Spring Harbor lost to North Shore gave them a little bit of hope, saying, look, like, anyone can beat anyone on any given day, and we have a chance to really compete and win a championship.
Yeah, absolutely. I think across the board in Long Island Cross, that makes it so competitive, and seeing upsets that happen and teams beat other teams that are higher seeds says a lot for these high school athletes.
Sanchez doing his best Marshawn Lynch impersonation, just bullying his way through traffic. Now he gives it up and recovers, or at least Floral Park does, after they stopped the transition opportunity despite being unsettled on the other end. Now Floral Park a chance to work offense, still in this game, down by 5. Maybe that's an optimistic view on things, but they essentially came back from 4 earlier on, so we'll see what they can do here.
Yeah, at this point, I think they're just taking it 1 goal at a time, 1 face-off at a time, and seeing what they can do.
Do you think there's a tendency, especially in high school when players are down by this much, to maybe try and do a little bit too much offensively? I mean, you always hear the old cliche from coaches, like you only can get a goal at a time, but do you think players buy into that, or sometimes they're a little bit too aggressive in these situations?
I think it's a combination of both. I think sometimes you do get into that panic mode where you think that you're into a time crunch and completely don't go goal by goal, but the more you drill it into your teams, the more they're going to buy into it and see what could happen. And I always like to remind them of worst times that we've been in, and being able to take it 1 goal at a time, come back.
And Madsen almost had the shot of the year, a 180 in front of net, but couldn't do much with it. And again, perhaps the most incredible part about this one is you really can't put it on Anthony Fogarty, who we told you a story in the first half, just 6th game of his career as a senior that he's playing goalie, and didn't practice at goalie in his entire 4 years of high school lacrosse. Has done a really admirable job in this one, has certainly lets him up, but none of them have been easy. They've been shots that would go in against most of the goaltenders on the island. That's really saying a lot given the situation that he's been put into. And hounding defense from the long stick there. It was Ryan Turk nearly turning it over.
It seems we have a flag on that play. So Floral Park will be playing man-down defense right now.
In a crucial moment. Still down by 5 goals. And we saw Locust Valley put one in shorthanded And at least on paper, things a little bit easier for them now with that situation reversed. You just get the feeling, though, Locust Valley, they're going to be a thorn in the side of Cold Spring Harbor and Wantagh, as that one is put in easily. Smooth execution that time to find Madsen. He is a hat trick on the day. And Locust Valley running away with this one, up by 6 as we near the end of quarter number 3.
Yeah, and if you look, Gavin, at this replay, they really pulled the defense out, being that they were man up, found the opening, executed the man-up play perfectly.
And it's those subtle touches, right? Frank Smith just taking that extra second, letting the defender take one extra step closer to him, and then he made his pass. And you start talking about, if not mastery of the game, starting to really develop, I guess, for lack of a better term, a coach's instinct on the field. And I thought that was a little bit represented there by Frank Smith, just that patience to not rush it and to take his time. So good job coming up with that ball by Jack Nolan. Nolan, a name we haven't mentioned a whole lot. He's just a sophomore, number 3 in white. One of Ryan Oblog's favorite players, saying that he's going to be a star down the road. Timeout taken by Floral Park. They're down by 6, and we'll come back in a minute as they try and get back into this one on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us at 516-403-2050 for rates and packages.
Locust Valley up 11-5 here on the Varsity Media Sports Network as they continue to control this second half. It was a 6-4 game at the break. Since then, obviously, it's been all Falcons as they continue to roll. And again, we've hinted at this. We've talked about it a couple of times in passing, but you just get the sense that this Locust Valley group is different than last year's team, trying to win their 8th in 10 games. And again, an excellent opportunity. Cold Spring Harbor and Wantagh, they're both really good, but Meg, I don't think either is unbeatable. And Locust Valley, at least on paper, has the talent to compete with both of those groups.
Absolutely, and I think if they just execute a game plan with their coaches and play good, solid, smart lacrosse, maintain possession, slide, and work together as a team, they could definitely look to make a run in the Class C playoffs.
The 2 losses in their last 10 games were against those top teams. Cold Spring Harbor ending a 3-game winning streak, beating them 11-3 about a month ago, as you see a flag up there. And then Wantagh last game knocking them off 13-8. The Locust Valley certainly could have kept that one a little bit closer. A couple of contributing factors, according to Jim Casper, who certainly unbiased in the situation, that possibly led to that game getting a little bit more out of control than he thought it would be. But it is the Locust Valley group that has been playing their best lacrosse late in the year, which usually portends well to a good playoff run. And on top of that, again, if you want to listen to Jim Casper on it, he said, we didn't necessarily pull out all of our tricks. We kind of kept it vanilla against those 2 teams, knowing that the potential was there to meet one of them in the semifinals, one of them in the finals. Certainly will be interesting to watch come playoff time if Locust Valley has that extra gear. It certainly feels like it, watching them over the last couple of games.
Absolutely, and if you want a time to peak, now is the time heading into the playoffs. I say the regular season is pretty much practice all year round, getting yourself exposed to different situations, and now is when you want to go for a run.
And as a coach, as you see the jump shot deflected there, Teitelbaum in good position, as the Loyola commit always seems to be. How do you kind of go about that with your players? Is that something you'll actually say to your players after like a loss or even after practice, saying like, look, guys, like we're just trying to peak in the postseason, or is that something you almost don't want them to think about because then they might let up a little bit?
I think it's about consistency, but I also think it's about exposing them to as much as they might potentially see in the playoffs. So practicing all year round for this time is really what we're working for.
And another break taken as the third quarter comes to an end. Locust Valley up by 6. Dominant quarter for the Falcons as they'll try and finish this one off in the fourth next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us at 516-403-2050 for rates and packages. Hey sports fans, why settle for watching games after they've been played? Varsity Media brings the action to you live. Contact us today to learn more about streaming your events live. 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. We highlight your life.
Fourth quarter about to get underway. What a season it's been on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Final quarter of the regular season. Gavin Shaw, Meg McCormick here to bring it to you. We saw a dominant third from this Locust Valley team. Though Floral Park, the pattern in this game has been clear. Slow starts to halves, and then they come on really strong in the latter quarter of each half. And by pattern, I mean it's happened once, so we can assume it'll happen again. And Floral Park, what did they have to change to get back into this one? And what did you see in terms of how they were executing the second quarter and maybe how that shifted as we started the third?
I think it really starts at the face-off and coming up with possession from the start of this quarter. Every face-off matters. Every ground ball matters. So I think if they just attack that and clean up their passing in the midfield, they should be able to capitalize. They got to fake and shoot like they want to score every single time in the offensive end.
Immediately opening up with a ride, and we haven't really seen Floral Park play aggressive full-field defense like this. As you see the goaltender, Teitelbaum, coming out and making a run up 6 goals. Maybe he's emboldened a little bit. Spin move at midfield. Teitelbaum, the goalie, trying to go coast to coast. Fired one on Fogarty. Unable to get it to go. Chased down by who? And it's Locust Valley coming up with it. So the goaltender got a shot at net. What a run that time from Colton Teitelbaum. Certainly would have been exciting, but just unable to put it home. A little bit of pride salvaged that time for Aiden Fogarty.
Yeah, that was a great clear run up field, and he wanted to get that shot, I think.
Teitelbaum, he's a 4-year player. Has been playing some of the best lacrosse of his career of late, saving 53% of his shots on the year. Expected to start next year for Charlie Toom at Loyola. And a chance to play a little bit of offense. Jim Casper taking the reins off, saying, we're up by 6, go for it. And he almost paid off his coach's faith and put that one in. Meg, would you let your goalie make a full field run up by a couple in the fourth quarter?
I don't think so, but boys and girls differ in that aspect.
That's true. Would you yell at your goalie if she tried to?
Probably.
As that one is put in, nobody's going to be yelling at Frank Smith. That's his 4th goal. Maybe some of the Floral Park fans will. And a 12-5 lead now for Locust Valley, who is refuting a repeat of that second quarter with a rapid-fire look from Frank Smith. So there's no situation where you would let your goalie, like what if it's her birthday and you guys are up by like 10? Would you say, what, screw it, just go for it?
Possibly,
okay.
possibly.
All right. So
it would probably make her day, but.
All right. So hopefully she's watching and her birthday falls during the season. Maybe during a practice.
Maybe.
It certainly, it's a good thing Floral Park stopped that, because you gotta figure the trash talk would be pretty vicious if a goalie scores on you. Megan, in your playing coaching days, have you seen a goalie score in a game?
I have.
Is it usually in that situation where they make like a full field run, or is it a clear that just happens to find the back of the net?
Yeah, it would be pretty much a clear run. Usually when he's clearing the ball up field and able to get past defenders.
That was pretty. I was shocked he got as close as he did.
It's not often, but I mean, we're talking about a Division I commit and somebody who could potentially be starting on a D1 program next year as a freshman. So clearly he has the talent and skills to do something like that.
I think part of it was, I think Floral Park was a little shocked by the audacity of it, saying like, "Are you really not going to pass this?" And he just kept going and going and going.
Yeah, and I think you're right on that. Looked like they were pressuring out adjacent passes and cutting off lanes, giving him some freedom to run. So.
And incredibly, it worked out, because Floral Park, if they had gotten that ball back, they probably have an easy goal on the other end. But it was really nice hustle for Locust Valley, specifically Mike Casio, to chase that one down. So another one finds the back of the net for Locust Valley. They continue to just pile it on in this second half.
Yeah, and that was a beautiful behind the back, it looked like.
I think Ben Ferrara got his first goal, but let's take a look at this replay. So throw in front of net, no look behind the back, rapid fire. Ben Ferrara, the face-off man, notches his first of the game. Again, not another guy who doesn't necessarily play a whole lot on offense, but with the blowout, Jim Casper is letting guys figure things out in new roles, and Locust Valley, you see the depth of talent on the roster. They all look good doing it.
Absolutely, and being able to have an experience like this heading into the playoffs is positive for this Locust Valley team. He might be able to see some of his team step up and see who he needs to step up in playoffs and be able to switch some positions around if need be.
Ferrara, another amazing play to keep that one in bounds, but Fogarty able to slow down the shot from Tripetta. So a bouncer and a nice stick check that time by Christian Lacosto coming back. The Locust Valley maintains control. Sent inside. Bouncer finds the back of the net. 2 flags come in. Looked like an and one that time.
Yeah, he looked like he fell pretty hard. It might be a slash on the flag. We'll take a look at the instant replay here.
So that goal put in plus the harm by Chris Simak, who is a defender nominally. So we've had a goalie, we've had a defenseman, and we've had a face-off guy take shots for Locust Valley in this second half. Incredibly, 2 of the 3 actually scored.
And it looks like Floral Park just got a 2-minute penalty, so Locust Valley will be man up.
The frustration really building up for this Floral Park team. Understandably, as Locust Valley has been in total control in the second half, now outscoring the Knights 8-1 in half number 2.
Yeah, it's tough for a defense right now at this point when they're slacking the motivation and not able to capitalize, and they're just playing a ton of defense this half.
All right, so crucially important question. You know, in basketball, when you score plus the foul, you say, and one, plus the harm. Is there some kind of trash talk in lacrosse, like that's specific to scoring with a penalty, or is it just sort of a normal celebration?
It's sort of a normal celebration. Sometimes you'll get the foul that affected the shot, and if there's a push or something that affected the shot, they still score. The team does maintain possession, so they get a goal and possession rather than a face-off or a drawn girl. So
right. You got to figure there's an extra layer of trash talking, though, as Fogarty deflected that one, and the officials blew it dead before the putback attempt.
Yeah, and it looked like it deflected and hit off somebody on Floral Park's defense.
So the officials are sorting this one out. I think making sure everyone's all right, as that one was thrown really hard in front of net. Looks like Fogarty's out of the game, but maybe coming back in now. Yeah, possibly an injury. It's not Cameron Powell who was out there for Floral Park, because he broke his, or rather fractured his finger earlier in the season. So it looks to be the third stringer, Shane Elia, who is a defenseman and was actually a starter in this game for Floral Park. But again, they're down to their fourth goalie once they take Fogarty out of the game.
And unfortunately right now, Gavin, they're still man down, and they're still using that penalty. So
Fogarty actually came back on. I think they were probably just taking him out because it was a blowout and didn't want to see his confidence get pushed down too much. But Elia looked to have gotten hurt on that play. So Fogarty will come back on, and he'll have to continue to face the onslaught, though did a good job standing up to the shot from Tripetta there. Fogarty again stepping up with the stick held high, that time deflecting the look from Frank Smith.
Yeah, that was a great save that just deflected off his helmet.
Or excuse me, that might have been John Madsen on the shot. First time we've said his name. Number 8 in green, just a sophomore, looking to follow in the footsteps of his brother Anthony. So it's set up top, extra pass. Great ball movement here from Locust Valley, right in front of net. Bouncer Fogarty standing tall since he's come back into this game. 3 saves on this one possession.
Yeah, and it looks like Locust Valley is setting up 2-2-2 offensive set. Playing 2 guys behind, 2 in the middle, and 2 up top.
Trying to take full advantage of this long penalty. Fogarty doing a really nice job, and again, the concern when they took him out was they didn't want his confidence to get too low, possibly building it back up after what's been a tough second half for him and this entire Floral Park group. All right, so Meg, important follow-up on all these questions. Did you talk trash as a player? And can you, throw out some phrases on what you'd say? Was it really generic, or did you get, kind of specific relative to who you were going against?
It depended on the game and the team I think we played. I did do my fair share of some trash talking.
Was there any difference between high school and college? Are people, politer in college, or does it just get more aggressive as you go on?
I would say it's a combination.
Okay. Just varies because people don't really change. If you talk trash in high school, you probably do in college.
Probably.
Okay. I want to get a feel for it as someone who never played lacrosse at any level. Jump shot, a little bit too tall that time from Frank Smith. It's good. If I ever join a pickup league, you gotta send me a list of phrases I can call people because I want to make it very specific to lacrosse.
I absolutely will.
Okay, that sounds great. As we wind down this one, just over 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Locust Valley trying to take this to a 10-goal lead.
And they recover that possession. Floral Park is playing a lot of defense this second half.
It's amazing how effortless Cooper Tripetta scooped that one up. So timeout taken. Locust Valley going to talk things over. And we'll be back in just a sec on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us at 516-403-2050 for rates and packages.
So fourth quarter rounding into a finish. Final 6 minutes here. 14-5 is the Locust Valley advantages. They've dominated this second half. Meg, just hypothetically, I'm putting you in the shoes of Ryan Oblage here. If you're coaching a team in this situation down by a lot, what do you tell your players? What do you work on in these situations, especially as you're rounding up a regular season?
I think especially rounding up a regular season, they should work on what they need to work on personally and set little goals for themselves for the next 6 minutes, whether it be get stops defensively, come up with the 50-50 is, make the smart pass, fake before they shoot, whatever the little game plans are, just to take it one step at a time and focus on them, not worry too much about Locust Valley.
And I want to give you a chance to experience some joy here. Putting you in Jim Casper's shoes. Let's say you're up 14-5. What do you tell your players? Because obviously, when it's a 9-goal game, you don't want to be going out of your way to embarrass the other team. But at the same time, you only get so much time on the field. You only get so many games in a year. How are you trying to improve, I guess, within reason?
I think just playing great lacrosse at this point, the Locust Valley should be doing, and they should be really crossing their T's and dotting their I's in every aspect of the game, whether it be their goalie comes up with a save, they're supporting each other in transition and getting the ball out in the clear, and they're cleaning the midfield and able to move the ball and work some offensive sets heading into the playoffs and maybe run a few of their plays and just get different looks offensively to see what they could do going into the Class C playoffs, which start next week.
No, and I think that's a great answer because, again, you're not going to be necessarily getting away with the same type of stuff you do against Floral Park that you might against Cold Spring Harbor or Wantagh. Just a different level of execution, and the more reps you get in those situations, the better you're going to be. So we're starting to see this Locust Valley team empty the bench. Colton Andrea out there. Interesting, a name we haven't called much today, and I think he must be out, is Buck Andrea, who's been so good for them this season. 27 points. His head coach, Jim Casper, and you might be able to decipher this for me, Meg, because I had no idea what he meant when he told me this. He said Buck Andrea plays like a Canadian, which he said skilled, shoots behind his back, underhand. The quote was, live with the bad, hope for the good.
Yeah, they play lacrosse tough up there. They have a indoor box league, professional league, the Toronto Rock in Canada, and they are very aggressive. They have great stick work. They look to run. I know they're in the playoffs right now in box lacrosse, so he's scrappy, he's fast, he's physical.
So just to clarify, when a coach says one of his players plays like a Canadian, that's a compliment. That's a good thing?
Yes,
okay,
definitely.
Good. All right, because I couldn't tell based on his tone. It was like a little like, it kind of plays like a Canadian. I was like, all right, I don't know. Is that xenophobic? I'm not sure. But
I think it's a good thing.
Okay, good. All right, so compliment to Buck Andrea and his family, courtesy of Jim Casper. Andrea missed a couple games earlier this season with an academic issue. Not quite sure why we haven't seen him tonight, but his brother Colton, number 25, I believe, is out there right now in green. See, Locust Valley content to do exactly what you said, just try and run some offense, be sharp with it, though that time losing control of the ball was Mike Casio, who had that spectacular no-look goal in the first half. And Floral Park will get an opportunity to make this one look at least cosmetically a little bit cleaner.
Yeah, we'll see if they could break Locust Valley's ride right here. He is number 5 down the sideline. And they're trying to hit the guy flying in through the box on the offensive end to maybe start a fast break opportunity.
And again, Floral Park, they had an opportunity to lock down the 6th seed in this game. Now, I think if things hold up, they'll most likely start the playoffs on the road. Though, again, a really good group and just a lot of experience coming off one of the better seasons in school history. They lost 5 or 6 guys that are now playing college lacrosse, and yet you look at this roster, 13 of the 24 players are seniors, so still a lot of experience, and you just get the feeling as that one is stalwarted by Teitelbaum. You just kind of get the feeling when you have one of those veteran groups, and you do have some legit star power between Mike Kelly and Mitchell Kozak. That's the type of team that even without a great regular season could make a run. So the shot that time was by Matt Lacosto, presumably the younger brother of Christian, number 8 in white. So you see the subs in on both teams, and excuse me, that wasn't Colton Teitelbaum. It's a new goaltender for Locust Valley out there right now, number 2, Chris Bartell, a junior, who will presumably be the starter next year unless he's unseated by someone younger when Colton Teitelbaum goes on to Loyola.
Yeah, it looks like Locust Valley just got a turnover, but they just overthrew that pass down the sideline, clearing the ball, so now it goes back to Floral Park.
So a little bit of breaking news on the broadcast. We have the official seating for Class C, courtesy of our producer and investigative reporter, Ben Turchin. Cold Spring Harbor is going to be the 1 seed. Wantagh, the 2. Locust Valley, we mentioned, coming into this one, already had the 3 seed locked up. 4 seed is Bethpage. All 4 of those teams have byes. Then the next group is North Shore and Lynbrook, I believe also with byes. And Floral Park is going to end up being the 8th or the 9th seed, depending on the results of the final games of the night, as that shot goes wide.
And Gavin, it seems like we have a timeout by Locust Valley.
So we will take a break on that. They still lead by 9 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey sports fans, why settle for watching games after they've been played? Varsity Media brings the action to you live. Contact us today to learn more about streaming your events live. 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. We highlight your life.
Final 90 seconds of this one. Just to clarify on the playoff seedings, it's the top 4 seeds that have a bye, so Cold Spring Harbor, Wantagh, Locust Valley, Bethpage, North Shore, and Lynbrook, the 5 and 6 seeds respectively, have locked up home field advantage, but they will be playing on Monday in the first round, and we mentioned Floral Park in contention for either the 8th or the 9th seed. So just looking at that top 4, though, it's interesting how it sorts out. Obviously, Locust Valley, they just played Wantagh earlier this week and gave them everything they can handle in a 13-8 game that, again, we've mentioned a couple times. I personally didn't watch it, so I can't speak to this, but Jim Casper was saying certainly could have been closer than it was, and it wasn't Colton Teitelbaum's best game, so that's one that you got to figure Locust Valley, and we've seen that Wantagh team, they're obviously really good in their own right, but could certainly be competitive. And then Cold Spring Harbor, who many considered to be the, for lack of a better term, class of Class C, coming into this season, a pretty clean path to that championship game. Obviously, Bethpage has had their moments, but Cold Spring Harbor, certainly the more talented team. Going to be interesting, though, if they get that matchup with Wantagh or Locust Valley, if either of those two could potentially compete with them. Obviously, Cold Spring Harbor, we said it, knocking off Locust Valley 11-3 earlier in the season, and I believe they also gave Wantagh their only loss of conference play. So certainly interesting, and it sort of feels like it's anyone's game with Cold Spring Harbor being the favorite.
Yeah, and I think that's a great thing with the Class C playoffs is that those top 3 seeds, it really could go any which way. And we saw North Shore boys beat Cold Spring Harbor, score 4-2 last week. So I think any of these teams are beatable, and you hear it multiple times from a lot of coaches that any team could beat any other team on any given day.
It's the beauty of this sport. And you see a nice check there. Both teams still competing hard. Good little bit of defense from Ryan Turk, the veteran defenseman, still out there for Floral Park.
Floral Park gets possession back on this ball right here. It's about 30 seconds left, so we'll see how they finish.
Got to figure they're going to try and tack on one more to make this look a little bit more presentable. As most of the starting offense still out there for Floral Park again. They're going to be playing on Monday, so nice chance to build some momentum here as that one is deflected nicely by the backup goaltender Bartel, standing tall in net. And Locust Valley will likely hold to finish this one up. What a second half it was for the Falcons. It legitimately felt like Floral Park was in this game. 6-4 at the break, and then an 8-1 run in half number 2 for Locust Valley to take control of this one.
Yeah, and that's tough to come back from a score like that and play catch up a little bit for Floral Park. So great fight for both teams, but unfortunately Floral Park came up a little short.
So we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, our Igloo Lacrosse player of the game. There was a lot of options, and we picked one. Next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey sports fans, why settle for watching games after they've been played? Varsity Media brings the action to you live. Contact us today to learn more about streaming your events live. 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. We highlight your life.
So one final time in the 2019 regular season, our last Igloo lacrosse player of the game, and Meg, who else but Frank Smith, a team-high 4 goals, got the scoring started early and then finished strong for Locust Valley.
Yeah, he did a great job attacking, especially on the left-hand side and that left lane. He was able to fake and finish every time and shoot hard and really carried that Locust Valley offense.
So Frank Smith, your Igloo lacrosse player of the game. We want to remind everyone to stay tuned on social media, whether it's Twitter or Instagram. Maybe I'll start a Snapchat for us this week, and stay tuned for that. We are going to announce which playoff game we are doing next week. Obviously, that gets started on Monday, and then a couple more games on Thursday in the next round of action. So we will figure that out, whether we're going to have 1 game, 2 games, no games next week. You will know if you stay tuned to Varsity Media, social media. And I'd be remiss, Meg, if I didn't let you do one final thing before we wrap up this broadcast.
Thanks, Gavin. I do want to wish the North Shore boys and girls lacrosse programs best of luck in the Class C playoffs, especially my girls team who've been working really hard and are excited to make our run. So stay tuned to Varsity Media for their upcoming playoff release dates.
So that wraps up the 2019 regular season of Long Island Lacrosse on the Varsity Media Sports Network. It was a big 14-5 win for Locust Valley over Floral Park. For Meg McCormick, our entire crew, I'm Gavin Shull, signing off from Floral Park one final time.